latest and greatest. Back at the sports desk. Back in my usual surroundings. Back on the scene. Crispy and clean. No, now I'm sounding like, what is it? Black sheep, and the choice is yours. Welcome aboard, people. It's another Monday, a new week, a new month, all that good stuff, and then some. As the podcast pregame coming at you here with all of the particulars when it comes to the latest podcast, which will come at you at the normal time, somewhere between 12 and 1. I would say right about 12:30. That could be the sweet spot. PM Eastern time. I hope you get a chance to listen to it because this is a big one, considering we have a champion. Greetings, Bio, my man. I know it's a big day for you today, and I'm sure you're ecstatic. I know you're still over the moon and on cloud nine as to what transpired there on Saturday, of course. And obviously, that's going to be a huge topic on the podcast. First and foremost, like we texted back and forth, are you going to the parade? And I'm curious as to where the route of the parade is. Is it similar to the Laker parades? I understand it's not going to go through Staples Center, and I guess it may end up at Dodger Stadium. Didn't that happen last year? Because I know 2020 obviously didn't have the parade. But I'm curious to know and learn if you're heading out there. I'm sure the traffic's going to be bananas, but I'm definitely curious. So if you could chime in on that, I'd appreciate it. And yes, we are going to talk about the Dodgers. A lot to uncover there with those last two games, in particular Game 7. A lot of people trying to rank it now as the best ever, best World Series, best Game 7, etc. Of course, I'm going to push back on that, more so in the Game 7. And this one ranks up there. I mean, there's no doubt about it. Oh, not going. Sorry to hear that, man. Damn. First and foremost, sorry to hear that your daughter's sick, not that you're not going. So just watch her from home. I hear you. And the route, is it going, I guess, through downtown to Dodger Stadium? Is there I'm trying to think, when the Lakers had their parades, was it, like, did it lead to a park? Did it lead to, for whatever the reason, I cannot recall. But, yeah, I'm going to push back on where the Game 7 ranks in the Dodger Stadium. All right, cool. Nah, that's awesome, man. And I'm sure you're going to appreciate it. And I got news for you. I didn't mention this yesterday, and I'm going to say this right now when I left, and I got to reply to all the comments, etc. How do you top that? The only way you could top that World Series win is if you're down 3-0, preferably to the Yankees again, which would be great. No, but seriously, if you're down 3-0 and you're down 5-0 in Game 7 until you come back and win the World Series. I mean, that's the only way you're going to top this one. Last year, as you know, obviously you guys dominated. 2020, you guys had this pretty much a series in hand. And for what took place there Friday and Saturday night, and in the fashion that you won, and the brilliant moves by Dave Roberts and Miguel Rojas, he's already etched his name in World Series lore as the Francisco Cabrera now, Francisco Cabrera was the championship series. It wasn't a World Series. But a guy that is unsung, that you would never have thought in a million years when you look at that roster, and as much as he hadn't really participated throughout the entire postseason, that between the scoop that he had at the end of Game 6 and then the home run there, Jeff Hoffman and the entire Blue Jay team, I'm sure they have not slept. I mean, how could you sleep? So, tickets sold out at Dodger Stadium. Miggy freaking Rowe, yes, I know that's his name, Miggy Rowe, or Miggy, yeah, absolutely. Wait, tickets sold out at Dodger Stadium. What, for the parade? Yeah, because I guess if they're going to have it in the stadium, wow. And they actually sold tickets for that? Jeez. Now, listen, Dodger Stadium, they could have held 100,000 or 500,000, and everybody would have shown up. For the parade. Wow. Yeah, I got to see. I'm sure they're probably going to air it somewhere. I'm sure I could stream it. So, but between Miggy Rowe, between the move of Andy Pages, and it's funny because I thought Kike had I thought he had a legitimate shot to catch that ball. And MLB TV, yes. Yeah, I'll definitely have to check that out. And it's probably going to start at what? I would think 2 Eastern, 11 Pacific, probably around there. I'm sure I can look it up. And at that time, I'll be done with the podcast. I'll have it posted. I'm going to go for a run afterwards, come back. So, I think around that time I should be here. I'll take a peek at it and see how that goes. But I thought Kike actually had a shot to catch that ball. Now, we understand Pod is a center fielder. He's in there for defense. He made that play. But I got news for you. The one play that kind of gets overlooked, and I don't know, you could confirm this, Bio, because I'd be curious to know, especially from whether it's the writers or the post-game, etc. I know in Toronto, and I said it when it happened in real time, the most underrated play, call, or I can't say it's a non-call because it was a call, is the ball that got lodged in the wall. That's it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, 100%. And I'm sure the Blue Jay fans, that's what they're going to be saying until the end of time. The ball getting caught. Yeah, well, you're talking about Pajes' ball, right? I'm thinking Game 6, 9th inning, when Barger hit the ball in the gap and it lodged on the bottom of the wall. Because if that ball doesn't lodge there, we know Miles Straw scores, Barger's on second, and that whole inning is different. Now, mind you, should have never gotten doubled off. That was a horrendous base running move. But runner on second, nobody out, and Ernie Clement up. Who knows how that inning unfolds? And how the game unfolds, too. But that ball getting lodged there was enormous. And it's funny because they showed a clip, I think it was on SNY, the Met Network. And granted, this was in an exhibition game. I believe it was in 2019 where the Astros are playing the Mets and there was a ball and it didn't get lodged like Barger's ball. I think it was one of those where it went into the gap and it went all the way to the wall and it lodged into the wall. So Yoenis Cespedes had his arms up, whatever, and the umpires let the play go. It was an inside the park home run and Cespedes was like, hey, wait a second. Ball got lodged. And he said, no, it's a live ball. And even though Barger's ball, that was on the fly. And that's the most freakiest thing. That's the one thing. Baseball, just when you've seen it all, basketball doesn't have that. Football doesn't have that. Hockey doesn't have that. Baseball, for whatever reason, has these plays where you would never even think in a million years, and all of a sudden it becomes bigger than what it was or what it is. And that Barger ball, who knows how that inning turns out. And as it was, I understand, second and third, nobody out. You figured, hey, a sac fly or whatever. And you know that the infield, I'm sure, maybe they were playing in at the corners and halfway between second and short. Now, they didn't have a shot for a double play, and who knows, maybe they were playing back for the one run. I don't know. Off the top of my head, I can't really recall how the infield was set up. But, that play is going to be one of the more underrated plays because everybody's going to think about Game 7, and rightfully so. But that one in Game 6, when I watched that, I said, whoa. And then Clement on the first pitch pops out because, of course, Glasnow comes in. And when Glasnow came in, that's when 2 pitches later, the ball that Jimenez hit then gets caught and doubled up, which Barger, what were you doing? Come on. And off the bat, I thought it was going to be a tie game. It was a broken bat. It was a flare in the left center, but Kike played him perfectly. And therefore, Barger got doubled up. And Barger had to play a third. He must have been halfway down. And then the other thing you're hearing about Game 7 is kind of Falefa, who went in for Bichette, and how he didn't make it score that game-winning run there in the bottom of the ninth. And it was funny because in real time, I didn't pick it up right away. And it was funny because Will Smith, he was off the plate, and then he had to go back and touch it. But then, and I did realize in the replay when I watched it, I said, why was he so close to the bag? If anything, that would have been interesting for kind of Falefa to go down the line to kind of distract Yamamoto there to see whether or not he was going to be maybe coerced into a balk. But the third base coach, Carlos Febles, he said, no, play close to the bag. He was about 7 or 8 feet off of the bag because he didn't want to get doubled up there, as they've recalled from the night before. Because let's say it's a line drive to, who knows, to third or short or whatever, the last thing you want to do is get doubled up there. And I'm sure that that was a reaction based on what happened the night before. But kind of Falefa, now listen, nobody's going to confuse him with Vince Coleman. But at the same time, I thought maybe should have been off the bag a little bit further. And yeah, I mean, that's how close. Oh my God, if you're a Blue Jay fan, I wouldn't be able to sleep till spring training. I would not. But yeah, give it up, man. Dodgers were tremendous. Tatsuya. Yes, they did. Yeah, and it's funny. They actually played well, and they were 0-3, and then they became 3-3, and then the Rockets came to town, and a former coach, Ime Udoka, and what happened? They got just taken to the back of the woodshed and lost by what? 33. What was it, 113-80 or something? Some ridiculous score. But yeah, I know. Now we could focus in on more so on the football, of course. But yeah, that game 7, I tell you, man, that was, and again, it's up there. Where you rank him, who knows? But that's not the best game 7 in World Series history. I don't think so. Excellent. I mean, you cannot knock the game. You cannot knock the circumstances, especially if you're a Blue Jays fan. Oh, not if you're a Blue Jays fan, but knowing that they had a zillion opportunities to win that game. Oh. I mean, and this is coming from a Mets fan. As I was watching it, I'm thinking to myself that the Dodgers are going to win the game, especially after Rojas hit the home run. I said, how are they going to lose this game? And then there it was in the bottom of the ninth as you watch it all unfold. And Clement's ball, and I mean, it was just, it's insane. And of course, the play at the plate where Will Smith was off the plate and then he went back to touch. And then you had the Dodgers in the top of the 10th. They had bases loaded and 1 out. And Sir Anthony Dominguez was on the ropes and he gets out of it. And then we all know what happened there in the bottom of the 11th. Where, and that was the thing, Alejandro Kirk had the bat there. He had 2 hits in the game. I understand he's not fleet of foot. And, you know, Yamamoto's performance, I mean, the game was just, you can't knock it. It's definitely up there. But I can think of 2 other Game 7s that were just as riveting. And even the stakes, I understand Dodgers going back-to-back, etc. But I can think of 2 other Game 7s which were just as riveting, just as everything. And if you watched the shorts yesterday, Lucas starting to look comfortable with it. Yeah, no, Lucas, now I understand he was hurt there, he missed a couple of games, but yeah, he's definitely, he looks like he could be an MVP this year. And considering if there is no LeBron and he has one of these monster years, so which we would think he would, great shape, etc. So yeah, I'm with you on that bio. But yeah, and as far as best World Series ever, and I know I said this yesterday, if you watch any of the shorts, listen, it's going to be up there, but when you had 3 of the games, well, one was a blowout, game 1, as you know. I understand not every game is going to be tooth and nail and nail biter, etc. But the Blue Jay wins, although games 4 and 5 were close until the 7th inning, and then it got away from the Dodgers. And we understand, we know about game 3. And game 6 was also a very good game, but after the 3rd inning, you got nothing. And I understand that the 9th inning was thrilling, but game 7 is going to speak for itself. But as far as best World Series ever, to me, the best one, as I've said yesterday, I'll say it again, the 91, and I understand it's not sexy, it's Atlanta, Minnesota. That 91 World Series was fantastic. And I'll never forget watching that too, because I hated the Pirates back then because they always beat up on the Mets. And I can't say I hated the Braves because remember, the Braves at that time, they were playing in the NL West. So therefore, Bio, I'll get to your comment in a second. So therefore, I didn't have that hate for the Braves the way I do now. But for them to play 5 of the 7 games decided by 1 run, Game 6 and Game 7, both of them in extra innings. Game 7, Jack Morris pitched 10 innings. I don't know how many innings Smoltz pitched. I don't think he didn't go to distance, I don't believe. No, as a matter of fact, he did not. And then I don't understand it ended on a sac fly, Gene Larkin, but yeah, I mean, that was that was a great World Series. And even Arizona and the Yankees in 01. Now, I understand Game 6 was a blowout, it was 15-2, and all the home games, or the games that were won by the home team, but you had the 2 just crazy games in New York, Games 4 and 5. And then Game 7, it was Clemens and Schilling, and Clemens pitched great that night. And Soriano got from the home run there in the 8th inning off of Schilling, where Schilling said that was probably the best pitch I threw the whole night. And Soriano hit it out of the ballpark. And then Mariano striking out the side in the 8th, where, I don't know if you're familiar, I'll say this real quick. Do you know that Game 7, Diamondbacks, Yankees, after watching the 7th inning where Mariano struck out the side and the Yankees were up 2-1 going into the 9th inning, I said, I can't watch this. I said, I'm not watching another Yankee World Series victory. I cannot. And that night was Jets Saints. And in fact, the anniversary of that game is tomorrow. It was November 4th. And so I'm watching Jets Saints, whatever, just going about my business. And then I hear Mike Patrick, may he rest in peace, who was the play-by-play guy on ESPN at the time, say, and congratulations to the Arizona Diamondbacks. And I said, what? And I went back, and funny enough, at that time, wait, did I have what you call it that time? 01. Yeah, I did have it at that time. Yeah, I did have TiVo at that time. Wait, let me be clear on that. Remember TiVo? Remember that was the big thing? Wait, let me just be clear on that. I believe so, because I could go from channel to channel. I actually rewound it. That I remember. Where I go and I see the celebration. Everybody's going crazy. I'm like, what did I miss? And I'm glad I missed it because I didn't want to witness another World Series, because if I would have watched it, the Yankees probably would have won the World Series. Now, I'm kidding as I say that. But it's wild because for them to come back and win that game, I couldn't believe it. And then I went back and watched, and Mariano threw the ball into center field when they tried to sacrifice, and Tony Womack at the double, and and then Luis Gonzalez. I mean, and that Game 7 was, who would have thought? That was Yankees going for 4 straight, 5 of 6 World Series, which, oh my God, just to think about it is disgusting. But, and that was a great Game 7 too. Pitchers duels, Clemens and Schilling, the Soriano home run, how that 9th inning unfolded. So, all right, here we go. Bio, what you got? Dodger fan, we lost Game 7 at Dodger Stadium in Houston in 2017. Yeah, that was brutal. I know the game was over early, though. Springer, what did he hit? A grand slam, if I'm not mistaken. They were down 5-0. I know you, Darvish, put you guys in a big hole. Those Game 7 losses are the worst ever. Yep, thinking back now, that 2017 loss to the Astros was the worst I felt as a fan. Wow, interesting. Because I'm going to go back on all the Dodger games. Yeah, I can see that's Game 7 of World Series. Because I'm just trying to think of some other. Now, but you remember Tom Niedenfuer, Jack Clark, because you were old enough for that, right, Bio? I'll never forget, I was a junior in high school, and I came home to watch that, and I hated the Cardinals. Oh, did I hate the Cardinals then. And, of course, the game before that was an Ozzie Smith home run off of Niedenfuer down the right field line in St. Louis. And but that's a Game 6, but I understand that was rough. No, yeah, that Game 7, 2017, right, as a Dodger fan, that's a good one, Bio. That, I could see that. Because, yeah, you lose Game 5 to the Red Sox 18, but it's Game 5. Yeah, I know. I'm sure getting swept by the Diamondbacks there, and 2 years ago, that had to be rough. But again, it's like, what do you say? What do you do? Yeah, I could see that. That's a good one, Bio. I'm glad you brought that one up. Not as a fan, you're bringing it up because it's bad memories, but as far as knowing that your team, and to think, that was the first time the Dodgers were in the World Series since, was it 88? Hold on a second. Yeah, that was the time that the Dodgers in the World Series for the first time since 88. Okay, let me think about it. Yeah. Because throughout the 90s, they didn't make it to the postseason. Unless I'm drawing a big, giant blank right now. So, yeah, I could definitely feel your pain losing that. And then Dodgers lost, right, 18. Yeah, losing 2 consecutive World Series. I feel you. I know the lows and lows are highs. Yes, absolutely. And today you're riding on a cloud. Yeah, you've gotten both sides of the spectrum. Yes, hated, needed, fewer. 88. Yep, look at that. That's right. No, I had a feeling, because I was thinking back when you said 2017 losing in Game 7. I said, wait a minute, what was their previous World Series appearance? And it was 88, which is crazy because that's almost 30 years. And then the following year, like you said, man. All right, now I'm going to ask you this, Bio, because you're the best person. Because, of course, now you're hearing all the Dynasty talk. I understand 3 and 6 years. But and I'm going to talk about this on the podcast today, but as a fan, do you feel like this team is a dynasty, or do they have to win next year in order to cement that? Yes, 32 years since 93. Yeah, I can't even imagine. I mean, I feel for the Jays fans so much, man. And that's, of course, me being, and just from a baseball standpoint, me being a Met fan, because I can't even imagine. And to me, you'd rather lose Game 7 the way the Cardinals did in 85, 11-0. It would suck. It's death of 1,000 paper cuts. Your team is hopeless, helpless, whatever. But to lose in the fashion that they did, where they had chance after chance after, they left 13 guys on base. They left 8th inning, 9th inning, 11th inning. Oh my goodness. I tell you, if I was a Blue Jay fan, I couldn't sleep. I wouldn't. No, there's no way. There's no way. And as I've said, they go win the next 3 World Series, the Blue Jays. I'm going to think, wait, we should have had a 4th. You know what? It's interesting. Listen, the Dodgers deserve it. They earned it, etc. You can't knock what the Dodgers have done. And I won't even go as far as saying that the Dodgers had no business winning that game, because they absolutely did. They chipped away. It wasn't as if it was a situation where the Blue Jays, whether it was their defense, base running, now obviously untimely hitting, where we all know in October it is paramount. But you feel it's a dynasty. She's went back to back. Dodgers being a mixed next. Oh, that for sure. No, I think if they, in my humble opinion, if they win next year, then that's it. To me, I feel a dynasty starts with 3. And I don't know, maybe because I'm spoiled when I think back. Now I'm going to shift gears here. Hockey, when the Islanders had won 4 straight, drive for 5. They won 19 straight playoff series. And to me, I think minimum is 3. Like, obviously, the Laker dynasty from 2020, 2002. The Bulls. Now, I understand the Bulls, it was 6 and 8, but they did win back-to-back 3 times during that span. Or I should say back-to-back, they 3-peated in that span. Like, when I hear about the Patriot dynasty winning 3 and 4, and even the Cowboys, I guess maybe. But even then, I still look at that. And even when people talk about the Steelers, they won 4 and 6. All right, but to me, and I think dynasty, you got to start with 3 consecutive. And I get it. Maybe for some people, it's whatever. I don't know. I guess because I'm a hard marker when it comes to stuff like that. When I think of the Canadiens dynasty, when I even think of the Celtics, the Celtics won 8 straight. I mean, now I understand it's in the 50s and 60s, but no, 100%. No, Dynasty, if they win next year, and listen, I understand they won 3 or 6, but no, they win next year, then, yeah, I mean, you forget it. And you can even argue this team, despite their record, because they won, what were they, 93 and 59. And, you know, it wasn't as if they were the team that came into the season where Vegas had them at 104.5. So I get it that people aren't going to look at this. They may not see this Dodger team as an all-time great team, but I mean, listen, are they the big red machine of the 70s? Are they the Yankees, the 98 Yankees? No, but you got to look at, when you look at the team itself, as much as it could be carried by the Otanis, the Freemans, the Betts of the world, even Yamamoto, but they're going to look at what, as you say, Bio Miggy freaking Rowe did, or Pages' catch, or, I mean, you name it. You know, yeah, listen, even Clayton Kershaw had his moment. And I understand he's going into the Hall of Fame on roller skates 100%, and he rides off into the sunset. But it's interesting because, listen, I don't want to, and you know me, I'm a hard marker, Bio. I don't want to pile. And listen, he deserves everything he got. And I loved it. I did love his post game. If you did watch on FS1, where he came out and said that he was grateful for all of it, and I got to give it up. I mean, we know Kershaw's a classy guy, but he said, I'm grateful for all of it. The wins, the losses, the bad postseason performances, as he mentioned, because he knows that, yeah, for a guy of his ilk and what he's done throughout his career in the regular season, it doesn't match for what he's done in October. And he recognizes that. And I utmost respect for him, but even that much more respect, considering that he acknowledged his failures in October. That it wasn't just about, hey, I'm a champ, I'm going to the Hall of Fame. It was about me. It was like, yeah, I understand. I've been with this team going back to 2008. I understand. And look at that. For you to say that, and you're an objective fan, and that's what I got to say, Bio. And this is the brotherly love. That's what I love about you, because you're a tried and true, dyed-in-the-wool, but objective sports fan. And that's it. That's what I look for in a sports fan is that. And right, and listen, I would have been the same way. I would have been the same way if I was a Dodger fan. Because people could talk to me, let's say you have conversations with good sports fans that are not just going to be rah-rah or in your face, like, all right, relax. But, yeah, if somebody's going to say to me that, yeah, no, Kershaw is great, but, yeah, that but exists. Well, I mean, what can I say? I just have to throw my hands up. I mean, like, I don't know what to tell you. And for him to acknowledge that, it speaks volumes of the man, of his character, etc. Because he could definitely be like, yeah, I won 3 World Series. Yeah, this and that. And it's just like, all right, well, the last 2, although even more so last year, because he didn't even pitch in a series against the Yankees. And not that they needed him, but in essence, they probably could have used him, considering that their starting pitching was injured and their bullpen had carried them throughout. But, yeah, I mean, he owned up to that, and you got to give him nothing but dap and respect and tip your cap for him to acknowledge that, yeah, I'm grateful for all of it. Meaning, yeah, the highest of highs and even the lowest of lows. I did not want him in the stadium during the playoffs. Look at that. And that's going back, I'm sure, in his heyday, too, when he was winning Cy Youngs and winning MVPs. And, yeah, I mean, listen, not that I bring up those memories. I mean, obviously, it's a past. I'm not going to try to dissect. But, yeah, I mean, you know the games, the moments, the times, etc. Although I put 2017 aside, Game 5, because, yeah, for the Astros to lay off all those curves and sliders, come on. I mean, seriously. But we all know before that, he's had his tough moments. What times I wouldn't. I know, and it's crazy to say that of a guy who was an all-time great, but for whatever the reason, like October wasn't. Yeah, like it didn't, and that goes for a lot. It's crazy. It goes for a lot of great pitchers. Greg Maddux never had a great postseason career, despite his brilliance in the regular season. Let's see. Go on. Roger Clemens. Listen. I get it that early on with the Red Sox, but even then, he wasn't great then. Lights out, or even with the Yankees with some of those games. Now, I did mention the Game 7 with Schilling. I think in that game he pitched what? I think he went into the 7th inning. He had struck out 10 guys. I mean, it was vintage Clemens. But those outings in the postseason were few and far between. Please, he was getting thrown out of playoff games in the 2nd inning in Oakland. Well, I think it was in 88. Yeah, I think it was in 88, not 90. And they got swept in both of those series. Max Fried postseason numbers are terrible. Yeah, he's been up and down. Now, he did win Game 6 in Houston when they won the World Series in 21. But yeah, he's another guy that has been either, wow, he's been on or he's been off. I mean, look at just this past postseason. Against the Red Sox, went into the 7th inning, hadn't given up a run. I forgot how many he struck out. I mean, he didn't strike out a ton of guys. But he pitched well. Aaron Boone decided to pull him for whatever the reason. And then in the, what was it, Game 1 against Toronto, he got lit up. Was it Game 1 or Game 2? No, wait. He pitched that Tuesday. Oh, so it was Game 2 that Sunday. Because that was against Savage. Because Game 1, who pitched Game 1 for the Yanks? Oh, Luis Hill. Yeah, he pitched Game 1 2 2/3, and that was it. But yeah, so obviously I'm going to unpack pretty much what I unpacked here, but I'll get into a little bit deeper on the podcast. NFL, it was, to me, the theme for yesterday, like Bills Chiefs, who cares? I'm not going to look at that game, and I talked about this Thursday. I feel like Bills Chiefs now is an overrated matchup because granted that they're two of the better teams in the conference now, the Chiefs are 5-4. And you can forget about it. The Chiefs are not getting a 1 seed. They got to go on the road through the postseason, and they could do it as a wild card team, not as a division winner. I mean, think about that. The Chiefs right now, where do they stand? Are they on the outside looking in? Because last week, remember, they were until they won the Monday night game. Let's see. The Chiefs, as of right this very moment, yeah, they're on the outside looking in. So who knows if they even make the playoffs this year. I think they will. But they're going to be at the bottom. And I got news for you. I hope they make it in. Now, Jacksonville's a tiebreaker on them, and so does the Chargers at the moment. Because remember, Denver is currently in first place. But you know the Chiefs are going to have another crack at the Chargers, and they played twice against Denver because they haven't played them just yet. But boy, I would love to see Kansas City at New England first round. Listen, give it up, Drake May, and I underestimated them from this standpoint. I didn't realize their schedule was literally garbage. I picked them as an under at 8.5. I said, Drake May, all of a sudden this guy's going to be Tom Brady 2.0, and the guys played well. I can't front, and I know yesterday they had to sweat out a game where they beat Atlanta. Wait, hold on. But yeah, you mean to tell me come January that I'm going to think, oh, the Patriots are going to have a long run in them? I'll believe it when I see it. Vikings had no chance before the game began. Oh, hold on, Tatsuya. What was the other thing? In my humble opinion, the game of the week was the Vikings line. Yeah, I'm going to talk about that. Yeah, I know. I was wrong too, Bio. Listen. Yeah, and, the North Carolina quarterback, that's a real dicey. I don't want to say dicey, that's strong. The North Carolina quarterback, let's face it, they haven't had a ton of success in the NFL. Where their name is Sam Howell, where their name is Mitchell Trubisky. And now Drake May comes in. He's played well. And I understand Josh McDaniels, Matthew Stafford with 4 more TD passes. Yeah, Stafford's having a killer year. Yeah, now everybody's talking after last night's performance there. Oh, Sam Darnold in the MVP discussion. Oh, come on. I'm so sick of it from week to week. Oh, 1 week is Baker Mayfield. Next week now Sam Darnold. And I get it. It's fodder for sports talk, but it just drives me crazy. And I got Seattle wrong too. I didn't think that. I still don't trust them though. But going back to what you said though, Tatsuya, Vikings, Lions. One of the teams I want to talk about, the NFC North it's up for grabs. Now, you would think when it's all said and done, it's going to be between Green Bay and Detroit. And what helps Green Bay is that tie against Dallas. Because let's say, even if they lose to Detroit on Thanksgiving, I think they're playing on Thanksgiving. Because remember, they beat them in the opening game. So even if they're tied 1-1, head-to-head, having that tie is going to help. Because let's just say, if they have the same amount of wins at the end of the regular season, the Packers win the division. So let's say if the Packers are 11-5-1, and the Lions are 11-6, they win the division. So, because that tie is it's not a win, of course, but it helps them out in the long run. Fishing Angel, good morning, welcome aboard. Jay. It's now Tom Brady after yesterday's game. Yeah, I didn't get that memo at all. Yes, Bio, I know. Could you believe college basketball starts today? Oh, my God, I can't believe it. It's crazy. That special teams performance of the Vikings, yeah. Carson Wentz. Yeah, and that's the thing. That division is up for grabs now. Because, now who knows what's going to happen with McCarthy? I understand, what are they, 4-4 right now? But you had the Bears win this. I mean, the Bengals, I understand they're awful. But, and I'm not sold on Caleb Williams just yet, but that was a big win yesterday. And I understand it's more of an indictment on Cincinnati, because how the hell is that defense? Now, granted, they were already in field goal range. And that's the other thing, too, with the NFL. You literally have to give a team like 2 seconds on the clock in order to secure a win. Because these field goal kickers are just, I mean, it's got to be the ball. How is it that these kickers are, I mean, field goal range isn't the 35 anymore. Field goal range is like the 45. And Cam Little hits that 68-yard field goal. And remember, he hit a 70-yarder against the Steelers in preseason. And all these kickers are making these, I mean, 55 is a chip shot now. Chip shot. You say that and enunciate that correctly. How bad are the Raiders? Yeah, they're really bad. Fishing Angel, you hate the Vikings? Yes, as a Lion fan, I'm sure let me see, that was a 1 o'clock game? Yeah, I'm sure whatever you had for dinner last night didn't go down smooth. But the NFC North, right now, a very underrated division that we're going to have to look at here. And we know about the NFC West. I get it with Seattle and the Rams and the Niners. But we knew that division was going to be good. Nobody thought the NFC North, there probably would have been Green Bay, Detroit. Minnesota, a lot of people thought would take a step back. And Chicago, nobody thought that they would be in the mix here. Yeah, that was a terrible loss. Oof. I mean, and that was a situation where they kicked a field goal there late. Won the game. What was it, 49 yards? And listen, 49 yards, that's makeable, but would have done some fire from the refs yesterday in that game both ways, garbage. Yeah, the Vikings Lions. I know. Yesterday I was out and about, and I know you hit me up, Jay. Yeah, real quick. I was out and about yesterday. It was a New York City marathon. I was supporting a couple of friends who were running the marathon yesterday. And yeah, I was watching on my phone, and it was kind of hard because you're with company and people, and it's just whatever. But yeah, by the time I got to the finish line to meet some people, and it was just chaos on top of driving people back to Brooklyn. And then coming through Manhattan, which I don't know why the GPS had me go through Manhattan, because obviously the marathon, it concludes in Central Park. And yeah, I didn't get home till after 8. So, it was just brutal. By the time I ate, and yeah, I tried to catch up a little bit with sports, and I just conked out. It was just a brutal day. But yeah, I didn't know what happened with the refs day yesterday. After watching the Dumpster Fire Saturday night again yesterday, I was in a great mood. Yes, I hear you. Dumpster Fire Saturday night. Wait a second. Michigan didn't lose Saturday, right? I should have paid attention to that. Wait, you said Dumpster Fire Saturday night. Are you referring to? What are you referring to? I need to know this. Yeah, and I want to appreciate you guys too. I also owe you guys a shout out. I know I did a very brief podcast pregame on Thursday. Yeah, no, I figured that was the case. What does my shirt say? It says, yeah, I am new media. Yeah, it's just a play on, and I did a vlog about it a while ago because I'm a new media guy, meaning that I didn't go the conventional route of communications, graduating with a degree in communications, going to school for journalism, things of that nature. Pretty much what I've been building and built to this point, thanks to you guys, of course, to my diehards, to where I'm the guy that has the podcast, that has the channel, that is doing things the unconventional way. It's not as if I have the sexy setup or the studio or work on any of these channels, whatever, that I'm really doing it sleeves rolled up, grassroots, independent, etc. Where, yeah, I claim myself, and of course I use the old typewriter font just to kind of show that, yeah, it's not like, yeah, I am new media, but it's not like I'm going to have this brash like colors and whatever. It's like, no. Yeah, I know I'm old enough to know about typewriters and having the, certain type of fonts and not trying to reinvent or recreate the wheel. But at the same time, yeah, I am telling the world that I am new media. Thank you, Fishing Angel. I appreciate that very much. And yeah. And then, of course, I have the logo in the back. So, yeah, I only made 2 of these shirts. This is just for me when I'm on lives and doing the podcast, etc. But, yeah, Michigan did win. That's what I thought. But hold on there, Jay. They didn't, but should have. It was a bad game. I know they played Purdue. Bryce Underwood. Oh, okay. Should have been 35 or 40-16. Yeah. And see, those turnovers would hurt if they played against a better opponent. Yeah, that's the one thing, man. That was awesome. So, thanks. Fishing Angel, I appreciate that. You know that. Appreciate you. Yeah, college football, yeah, I'm going to touch on, NFL, obviously that. Carolina beating Green Bay. Carolina's 5-4. Now, they're going to be a threat. I don't think so. And Bryce Young did not play well. But Green Bay, how do you lose that game at home? I mean, and it just goes to show you, I got nothing against Jordan Love at all. And you saw the performance that he had against Pittsburgh. But to me, that was more of an indictment on the Steelers defense and how bad they are, as opposed to Carolina. And listen, I'm not saying Carolina's this lockdown defense, but come on. For Love to just not really do anything, 13 points against the Panthers? Come on. 2 fumbles and a pick in the red zone. Yeah, well, that's definitely not good. Yeah, college football, you had Georgia Tech losing and Miami. Oh, Miami. Everybody thought they were going to be in cruise control. And now they may not even make the playoff. But, yeah, let's see. It's going to be a very interesting month here for college football. Because a lot of people are going to think, and Georgia they were able to skate by against the Gators on Saturday. I don't know listen, it's still a few more weeks to be played. Anything can happen, as we know. Any interesting games this week? No, I'll save the schedule. I don't want to tip my hand. But I'm going to talk about that. NBA, really isn't much to get into. Obviously, the Thunder on a mission. They're the last team that's undefeated in the sport. Not that they're not going to go 82-0, as we know. But showing no signs of slowing down after making it to the finals and winning last year. Michigan didn't even. Yeah. They didn't even move up. And that I did notice because I know that the teams that moved up, I know Vandy lost. They moved back. Miami now is what? I think 18. You still have Ohio State, Indiana, Texas Tech, Alabama, Oregon. Those are your top 5. And then I know, Texas A&M, I should say. Texas Tech moved up. You have, who else? Yeah, BYU moved up a bit. Vandy dropped. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. College football coaches, I know the Auburn coach. Was it the Auburn coach who got canned? Yep. I know, and the Fighting Irish. Ugh. What else? Yeah, Clemson, what a disaster there. Deion Block's player interviews. And that's the one thing, I hate to bring this up. Listen, I don't want to pound on him. Justice Haynes. Oh, that's right. Yeah, we talked about that last week. And you said he may be out to the end of the month? Oh, no, like 6 to 8 weeks, I think, right? If they make it to the playoff. Yeah, I'm sorry. I hate to even bring this up. And I got nothing against the guy. But this is what happens. And I get it. The man was built on swag. But for Deion to think that when he got to Colorado, especially got off to that 3-0 start and everybody showed up, Shannon Sharp and Stephen A., blah, 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 and then he faltered. Oregon, that game, when they went up to Oregon, they got spanked. It was like 52-6 or whatever it was. That was the beginning of the end. And even at the end of that year, Deion was saying, all right, hey, catch us now. Catch us now, because we're going to come at you, blah, 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 so on and so forth. How's that gone since? I mean, Colorado can't get out of their own way. And it's tough. I mean, Colorado, I understand they have a bit of a history. I get it. They won a national championship, although shared. And they've had big-time players come out of that program. We all know who they are. Rest in peace to Rashawn Salams of the world and Cordell Stewart. Not that he amounts to be a big-time pro, but Michael Westbrook and, go on down the list. But, yeah, in this day and age, college football, when you got to compete with the SEC and the Big Ten, no way. Not happening. Yeah, exactly. But the thing that bothers me is that when Deion comes out, you get us now because we're going to come at you. All right, it's 2 years since. And the team has done nothing. And I get it. You got to have players. Understood. And Shedeur was his quarterback for the last 2 years. But even then, it's not as if they would. And I understand how all these teams make it into the bowls. But, geez. I think the NCAA would have a heart attack. I put a shot to it? Wait a minute. What do you mean? Did they have a heart attack if Colorado was... how's Belichick doing in North Carolina? I don't want to pile on these guys. But I just, only because I saw the headline there with Deion, he's blocking player interviews after a blowout loss. Is this what we're going to do, Deion? Seriously? I understand he doesn't want to put it on him. He doesn't want to put it on the players. Oh, got to read your comment above that. My bad, Jay. Hold on. What if John got fired from the Ravens? Huh. Oh, I think they had a heart attack and put a shirt. Oh, I got you. My bad for not scrolling up. I missed your comment. And then no way Sharon Moore is their coach. Keep it that way. Yeah, John Harbaugh. Ugh. Yeah, I don't think. No, listen, I know that the last thing that John Harbaugh want to do is to go to Michigan because then the expectations and granted that there was a coach in between, but yeah, I don't think he's going to want to try to step on his brother's toes to, let's say, win a national title. Be like, hey, well, I won there too. So, yeah, and then you have that too. They're obviously going to have a lot. Now, I understand Jim and John is different, but yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't want him as Michigan coach. I just think, oh yeah, it would be funny in that regard. Yeah, and listen, this is no offense as a coach because we know Jim Harbaugh. I mean, he's an excellent coach. It goes without saying. But yeah, I am not. And he was a hard-nosed quarterback in his day. Bears, Colts, AFC Championship game in '95 almost beat my team. Hail Mary, Aaron Bailey, remember that? But yeah, I'm not a fan of his. Yes, Red Wings won again. And, they're playing great. Them and the Canadians, too. More slap to the face for the NCAA? Yeah, it definitely would be. Jim could leave his video team. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Could leave his video team. Not to go on bio. Yeah, I don't know if... Yeah, they're not going to fire it. Listen, especially now the Ravens have won 2 in a row. Lamar's back. So... who knows? I think he stays. Yeah, I can't stand the Harbaughs. I mean, I can't stand John Moore because he's coaches the Ravens, and I can't stand the Ravens. Can't stand them. But yeah, so it's gonna be jam packed. Everything I'm gonna discuss there. Yeah, it said NBA, and that's pretty much it. So it's gonna be obviously baseball, football dominant, sprinkling some NBA, little NHL. Not much going on there. Although my guy Matthew Schaefer looking like the next Bobby Orr. If I only wish he has a career like that. He 2 goals yesterday. The youngest defenseman, for what that's worth. I'm not really big on these stats, but I mean, when you think about it, he's the youngest defenseman to score a multi-goal game in his career. And he scored, 10 points in 12 games, 5 goals. Make it make sense to me. Something that smells so bad coming out of something that looks so good. Yeah, and the trade deadline I got to talk about too. Will the Steelers make a trade? They're probably going to trade for a receiver. The latest I heard about them. Oh, geez, now I'm drawing blanks. Yeah, they need another receiver. They absolutely do. No, of course, Jay, I got you. Where would they go? Yeah, I was reading, damn it, what was that one room I saw a couple days ago? And I said, I was kind of iffy on that. Steeler trade rumors. Yeah, I think they'll probably get a receiver. Who that is, I don't know. That just goes to show you. And listen, how much George Pickens was a headache because Pickens and I mean, that would have been great, but. Oh, yeah, I saw that. Yeah, Jacoby Myers was the one guy. I was like, Jacoby Myers? Like, nah. I know Jalen Waddle, they say that they're not going to trade him, and they just fired their GM, so I don't even know. Listen, Jalen Waddle would be nice, and the Dolphins and Steelers, they've traded back and forth over the years, Minka and Jalen Ramsey, that whole deal. I know last year they traded for Mike Williams. How did that work out? He did get a touchdown pass against the Commanders in that game in Washington. Yeah, Rashid Shaheed, the kid from the Saints. Waddle unlikely. Yeah, I would think probably there. Now, what receiver? I don't know. Lions need to make some trades at the deadline. Yeah, Jalen Waddle. I know. Olave, that's a guy I would definitely like to get. I know with the Saints. And now that I think about it, didn't Tyler Shuck play yesterday? Yeah, I didn't really follow that Saints game. And I know he started. Didn't he start yesterday? Let's look that up real quick. What time is it? Oh, almost 10:30. Let's see. Saints. And obviously, Bio, you would know about that considering he played against you guys. Hold on. Yeah, 15 for 24, 1 touchdown. Yeah. Pedestrian, to say the least. Yeah. He's horrible. Offensive linemen, they're dropping like flies. Ugh. Yeah, you guys need to keep Goff upright. He's not the most fleet of foot. I mean, he's not a statue, but he's certainly not Lamar Jackson either. All right. Oh, here we go. We got a trade here. Eagles land Jalen Phillips. And the Eagles have made a lot of trades here recently. They traded for Michael Carter, the kid on the Jets. Jalen Phillips now from the Dolphins, the linebacker. And they also traded for... Who did they get just the other day? Yeah, I know I wrote that down somewhere. Oh, Jair Alexander, that's who it was. Yeah, which obviously he's, who knows. Yeah, Brandon Graham came out of retirement for the Eagles. Yeah, I know the Eagles are making all these moves, which, hey, listen, they're trying to go back-to-back, which I understand. But Jalen Phillips, yeah, the Dolphins. Yeah, Jaden Daniels, I know. Now you're getting all the rumblings about, is he the next RG3? Where RG3 had that great rookie year, and then after that, the injuries just killed him. I hope that's not the case with Daniels, but now he's dislocated his elbow on top of the injuries that he's had so far this year. Yeah, I tell you. Yeah, we shall see. Oh, H2O, by the way. Yeah, Commanders are done. And I kind of should have seen that coming, considering they had that great year last year, and they were going to be the hunted this year. And I get it. They've had injuries, and Terry McLaurin with holdouts. That wasn't going to... and listen, Dan Quinn is your coach. And listen, he had a great year last year, so I can't get on him, but yeah, it's definitely been a lost season in the nation's capital, that's for sure. But Dallas second best team. Oh yeah, I would say that. Yeah, they beat the Commanders earlier, a couple weeks ago. And Dallas plays Arizona tonight. Jacoby Brissett. That's a game I don't know. Will I watch that game? Probably not. What's happening in the NBA tonight? Yeah, Arizona Dallas does not tickle, does not have me run into the set, that's for sure. So let me see if I look at the NBA and NHL schedule. I think the T-Wolves are playing the Nets. Yep, T-Wolves are in town. No Anthony Edwards, though. He's out. Yo, what's up with John Morant? I mean, come on. As I'm looking at Memphis here. Yeah, NBA is Dallas at Houston. Yeah, I'm not crazy about tonight's schedule. NHL. Yeah, John Morant, you would think that he'd be on his P's and Q's. Yes, Lakers at Jets. Funny, I did see that. Yeah, big game for Dallas tonight. Yep, AD's out. The football teams need to train them harder. Yeah. I know, that's the thing, though, Fishing Angel. They need to train them harder, but they don't practice in pads. They pretty much have, I don't want to say soft practices, but they do whatever they can to keep the players safe, healthy, etc. NHL. Pittsburgh or Toronto. Nah, Edmonton, St. Louis. Yeah, you don't have anything tonight. So, yeah, so that's what I got here, people. That's what I got. Lions are in trouble. Going to be 6-5 here real quick. Who do they play next week? Yeah, who's playing Thursday night? I know we're already into November. Jeez, where is the time going? Oh, wow. You got a great Thursday night game. Vegas at Denver. Whew. No thanks. Atlanta at Indy. Oh, that's a Germany game? Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, then I think the next week is Washington at Miami, but it's in. Is that game in Spain? It's in one of those countries. Yeah, let's look at that real quick. Yes, Madrid. NFL overseas, not a fan. Here's your games. Giants, Bears, Baltimore, Minnesota. New England at Tampa, that's a good game. Oh, next Sunday. Rams at 49ers. I got you in trouble. How did I get you in trouble? I need to sell merch. I know. I do have the few shirts. I got to get more. Of course, I have to invest. No, I plan to. Yes, that's going to be a great game. That's definitely at 425, right? That's got to be, yeah, Fox. Well, I know it's obviously West Coast 425, but I wanted to make sure that was the highlight game. Detroit at Washington. Steelers in LA. I'd like to go to LA next week. Play the Chargers. And Philly Green Bay's your Monday night game. That's a good game. My wife seen your wedding ring? I don't wear one. And this wedding ring, I got news for you. This is a silicone ring. I actually have my wedding band, but I only wear it when I go out, for going out, night in the town or particular engagement, whatever. Yeah, because, A, I don't want to lose it. B, I lose this. Who cares? And, and since I'm always, whether it's cleaning or carrying equipment or moving stuff, I don't want to damage the other ring. So, I wear this one. So, look at that. I'm not trying to get you in trouble with that. It really upsets me that you don't wear. Jay, you know what you do? You get a pack. If you go on Amazon, just type in silicone ring, and you get a pack of 4 for like $12. And it's almost like it's silicone, it's like rubber. And I know it's dark, it's black, it's nothing pretty, whatever. But it's one of those things where if you lose it, you just put the other one on. And it's good because it's flexible. So, right, if you're always, especially with you, if you're out fishing and you're always handling bait and lures, hooks, etc., you don't have to worry about ruining it. You don't have to worry about damaging it. You don't have to, and none of that. Oh, you don't do jewelry, never have, never will. Well, I guess that explains it. Veterans Day next week, yes. Next Monday, right? No. I think that's Tuesday. So. But I wear my wedding ring all the time and never take it off. I hate it, Fishing Angel. Good for you. Same here. And look, I'm going to get Jay more trouble by me saying that. I'll put it on for 20 seconds and take it off. I can't stand stuff around my neck, on my fingers, not my cup of tea. All right, Jay. And Jay, I say this just kidding around, but I know as the big Wolverine fan that you are, if there was a situation where, Jay, we want to bring you down 50-yard line, super fan that you are, been to all the games, the playoff, national championship, we're going to present you with a replica national championship 2024, or was it 23? 24 to 25? No, 2023 national championship ring. Would you wear it or not? I'm having a little fun with you, Jay, so that one you'd probably be like, I'd have to think about that one. No, but I hear you. But in all seriousness, listen, you're not a jewelry guy. I don't like wearing rings. But I'm jealous I'm not married. Bio, do you want to be married? Or are you involved? I'll wear my Dodger ring in the meantime. There you go. Get me a 2020 National Championship ring and I'll wear it. No replica of the player's ring. It's not going. Yeah. Yeah, you want the real deal. Yeah, you don't want. I say replica because, but yeah, let's say it was the exact ring that the players got and coaches. Then you'd wear it. All right. That's funny. Yeah, so now baseball is exited stage right. Yeah, let me get cracking here. A couple of minutes, I'm going to sign off just so I can get recording, get this podcast up ASAP. And as you know, maybe one day, yes. Hey, good for you, Bio. Hey, it'd always be nice to have that one person. Listen, I'm on my second, so it is my last one. I am not going anywhere, but I understand it's a marriage. You got to do the deed of being the good sport and being supportive, all that. To be honest, no, I wouldn't wear it. Oh, look at that. Well, that says it all. No, good for you, Jay. Now, hey, you don't like wearing jewelry? Yeah, I'm not much of a jewelry guy. I know I got this little wristband. This is something that the wife gave me as a momentum. Wake up there, JAYREELZ. So, yeah. Is she a Yankee fan? Yes, she is. Now, she's not a big-time Yankee fan. She's not one that... Now, her dad is. My father-in-law, he's a big-time Yankee fan. And the good thing is we have good conversations about it, and as much as my wife says, oh, he's a hater, he's this, he's that, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, I don't brag or boast. I don't go crazy. I speak objectively with him. When he says, oh, the team's playing bad, I won't go, yeah, ha, ha, ha. I just say, yeah, they're not, not playing bad, not pitching well, not hitting, whatever. And that's it. But yeah, but she's not watching games. She's not following on a day in, day out basis. So, I mean, she is a fan, but it's very loose as far as her fandom goes. Bio, if you were not so far, I will let you borrow mine. Ah, look at that. November 26th, 18 years. Wow. Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. Keep your chin up, Bio. It's all good. It's hilarious. My wife wouldn't step foot on a boat when we first met. Hey, that's funny you say that, Jay, because my wife, when we first, I love hot sauce on food. And I mean, it doesn't have to be like death or hell. Although I could tolerate that, but you got to just sprinkle it. Yeah. My wife wouldn't go anywhere near it. And let's say like with sriracha, she would have to, at the beginning, she's putting dots. Now, she goes all in. Now, if I go fishing by myself, she won't talk to me for days. Look at that. That's awesome. That's why she's Fishing Angel. And I'm sure she's out there with reeling them in. Good for her, man. All right, guys, I got to, damn right, yes, yes, I love it. All right, guys, let me sign off only because I can talk to you guys forever, but I got to get cracking on this. And I wonder, would you prefer a podcast pregame or a podcast postgame? Because then postgame I could go on forever because everything's in the bank, it's in the books, whatever, and I could do it like at 2 something. So, Tatsuya. No, thank you, man. Thank you for hopping on board. Yes. Jay, Fishing Angel, you two have a great day as well. That's why we're best friends, husband and wife. That's great, man. That I love. It's so good. You just celebrated 15, together 18, or about to be 18. Hey, that was supposed to be Go Sports. Yeah. No, I got you, Jay. No, and I say it all the time. You guys are like my bosses. And what I mean by that is that not only do I have to show up and we go back and forth, talk about sports, whatever. But yeah, I mean, without you guys, oh, thank you, Fishing Angel. Without you guys and your support, and that's why you guys and gals, when make merch to sell, your bosses demand it. Yes, I know. I gotta get. I still have some. I have some inventory stuff. Maybe I'll send you a text later on, Jay. Yes, have a good sports day, everyone. Go Dodgers. The journey's on pause until next season when the quest for a three-peat begins. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, I will, Fishing Angel. Absolutely. Yeah, so podcast later. We know about the Wednesday live stream. Oh, buy it real quick. You know, I'll buy something. Oh, I know that, Jay. No, absolutely. No, I'll make sure to get that to you. It probably won't be till later after I do all this here, and I know I got to follow up with you from the weekend. Yes, thank you, Fishing Angel. But Bio, let me know if you want to be on, if you're available for Wednesday. Because, yeah, that'd be great, man. I'd definitely love to have you on. Yeah, so I may have Bio, now that everybody's in the room. Bio may be my guest just to kind of get us through the journey. And I know Brent, we haven't seen Brent in a while. I know he's not a Blue Jay fan, but considering I love to take the temperature of the Canadian fan, or the Canada, not Canadian, of Canada right now, because I'm sure they're still just, All right, I'll reach out to you, man. Absolutely, I will. Most definitely. We'll chat. And Jay, I need to have you guys on. I need to have you and Fishing Angel on too. Because remember, when I did my whole pull that name out of the hat, having Val on, Brent, Bio, I got to, if you want to be a part, you could definitely do that. My sister does screen printing for shirts. She's in Nevada, but she would do, oh, really? Oh, wow. Wow. Yeah, let me know what, I guess I have to send her the logo and do all that, and then how much that would cost. Yeah, that'd be great. I don't have a computer to do it. Oh, you can do it with your phone. Absolutely. As long as you have Wi-Fi, you can do it on your phone. Yeah, no, we'll set that up, Jay, for sure. 100%. Yes. Awesome. Yeah, and I'll let you know about the shirts, the merch, and also yeah, I guess whatever the pricing would be. Val! Now Val jumps on. Well, listen, I appreciate you hopping on board now, even though I'm going to, me too, damn it. Even though I got to sign off here momentarily. But yeah, I'll definitely be in touch with you. Yep, Niners won. Niners Rams this weekend. No rush, sir. You do, yes. No, I appreciate that, Jay, absolutely. But yeah, I just don't like to, I like to acknowledge and keep myself accountable for what's going on. No excuses. And even though I understand there may be pockets in time where I don't get back or follow up or et cetera, but yeah, I just want you to know that you're in my thoughts and that you're not forgotten. Sharks game went to one in person. Oh, you went? Nice. Against Avalanche. Good for you, Val. Val, I have to catch up on Wednesday. We could talk Sharks then because I got to sign off. I got to start recording. It's 10:45. Just so I can get this up by 1 p.m. my time. So I'll be in touch with everybody. Again, thank you so much for passing by and spending time with me. So I know I sound like a broken record with the podcast and live stream, etc. Everybody knows the drill. But enjoy the rest of your Monday. I appreciate you all. You know that. Val, hop on board Wednesday. We'll catch up then. And yeah, enjoy the rest of your Monday. New day, new week, new month. Obviously, trying to hustle to do my thing on my end to continue to put forward content like this. And, I appreciate you all. Only one like, and support. That's all right. The likes and all that will come, in due time. So, and, I appreciate you all. So, as always, until next time. On the flip, and then one Saturday, by the way. All right, Val, that's good. We'll catch up. Until next time, enjoy your Monday, everybody. on the flip.